let's talk about some of the fundraisers that you have held over the years and
Yeah,
charity work that you've done over the course of your time in the wrestling business and outside of the wrestling business. Can you talk about some of the stuff that you've done to help out in your community?
absolutely. First of all, me and my Maria never thought in a million years that we would be able to help raise money or be valuable to a fundraiser or a charity. I mean, like even before we had the Memphis Wrestling product, I was one of the Real Men Wear Pink for the American Cancer Society here in Memphis. And then for years and years, we had Battle of the Bras where I would wear a bra. Trust me, Stanley, I only wore a bra 2 times a year. One was for the television spot to market it, and second was they had men that would model bras on a runway and do a whole show and production about it. And of course I was flexing and doing all the stuff, but the bras were actually custom made by breast cancer survivors from the casino. And so then they would auction those bras off, but then they would also vote on which the best bras were. And man, oh man, they would raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for this event every year. And us just being a small part of it, where they could put, you know, and I'm a two-time Mr. Tennessee Men's Physique winner. So for them, and formerly, WWE, whatever, pro wrestler, however they wanted to market me, Memphis Grizzlies, whatever. But they would be able to use that, and if it sold a couple of tickets, that's great. But it made it look, we were a part of it, and then Maria was able to judge it, and so just stuff like that eventually evolved into where it was like, hey, can we do this with wrestling? And so big shout out to Murray Collum out in the Pontotoc, Mississippi area, which is not too far from Memphis. We've done a St. Jude fundraiser 2 years in a row. Our main goal is to do some sort of fundraiser event on the main campus of St. Jude that's located right here in Memphis, Tennessee, downtown. That would just be an absolute dream to be able to do something for the kids out there. But year one, which was last year, we raised $15,250. And that's net. That's like our little wrestling company was able to help raise over $15,000. And then this year we did it again and we raised $19,000. And so we'll do it again next year. This will be an annual tradition that we're going to do. But outside of like the big, everybody knows who St. Jude is, right? I mean, there's the Strayhorn Band Boosters. There's a Strayhorn, Mississippi, Strayhorn High School. They needed new costumes or new equipment for their band. So they called on Memphis Wrestling, and we're going back February the 8th, the day after SmackDown is at FedEx Forum, which is going to be so much fun. But we're there the very next day, back for our third year in a row at the Strayhorn High School. We do Ingomar baseball every year, and these schools can raise anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, just depending on how they do with sponsorships and tickets and all that kind of stuff. So Ingomar baseball, Big John Dalton, he goes there and he's a team captain on the team, so he helped us out with that one. And so a lot of the wrestlers saw the value of what we were doing with these fundraisers and said, "Wait a minute, can you help my school?" So we've been out to Brighton. We worked with the Brighton, I want to say it was Brighton baseball. We've been to Gleason, Tennessee, which is probably about as far as we go, a couple of hours away from Memphis, but Gleason, Tennessee, they have a Tater Town Throwdown. And so there's this big festival. It's called Tater Town. And it's about sweet potatoes. And so they just have wrestling as a big feature part of that. And man, they raise thousands of dollars every single year. And so it's one of those things where, like, if we go once a year, it's gangbusters. If you do it more than once a year, then they know you're just doing a wrestling show. And that's not really what it's about. Cool, wrestling's cool, and the kids and the teachers get involved, and it's a lot of fun. But the main thing is raising money for that school or for that team. And I could list off a whole bunch of them, but man, if anybody's hearing my voice and you're within 200-mile radius of Memphis, gosh, our television coverage, our social media coverage is so strong. Our email database is very strong. We know how to market this. We do all the graphics and artwork and promotion for it. You guys are on the ground doing your thing. We're from afar doing our thing, and then we bring both audiences together to raise money for that charity. It's awesome. It's a way to do wrestling without all being 100% wrestling. You've got other support coming, and it's really cool because we're called back over and over again. This year we just put out internally. We put out our 2025 schedule. We've already have, gosh, probably 6 or 7 fundraisers that already have dates. And then we've got some others that are waiting to confirm whether it's going to be a Friday or Saturday or whatever. So it's really cool when they call you to come back to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, seems like you're doing a lot of stuff and getting involved. What is it about giving back to the community that gives you the most joy?
I think I didn't, I can't, I have three sisters and my family's very blue collar. They, I don't want to say we went without because somehow, some way, they always found a way for us to get what it was that we needed or whatever. But I don't know. I look at things a little differently now that I have three kids. I have a 16-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and I have a 9-week old. So I look at things a little bit different when it comes to helping. And I hosted a telethon for 6 hours at the DeSoto County Dream Center, and we raised $66,000. And that was just in that day. So I don't know what the final number would be, but the final number of the day was over $66,000. And then of course the Memphis Grizzlies, man, they are all about mentorship, whether it's Madonna Learning Center or St. Jude or HBCU awareness, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I'm learning a lot from these teams that I work with because when I see it, and then of course, I've got my eye on the analytics constantly because that's my baby. I'm kind of like, wow, maybe we could help out with this. We've got really strong viewership at this point. Maybe we could help them do that. And a lot of times it works out just that way. So I don't know, man. I just in my more mature years, I just feel like I look at things from a different perspective.